What is up, YouTube? What's going on? Yo, what's good? Check this and check. 1, 2. Checking the mic, checking the sound. What is up, YouTube? Alright, we good. We are good. We are good. Oh, nice. Just like that. Look like we got some lineups happening immediately. Update it. Alright. Let's go live over on WAP right now. What is up, everybody? What's going on? What is up? Hope you all are doing well today on this Monday, April 13th of 2026. We're inching even closer to the middle of the month. Hope you, your family, friends, and loved ones have been doing well today. Hope you all had a safe and humbling weekend. And we're back with another live stream live here over on WAP.com at Top Sports Debate and live over on my YouTube channel at Bet at Your Own Risk. That is at Bet at Your Own Risk. If you're over on YouTube, click that link to come join us, join the crew that I'm with, Top Sports Debate over there on WAP.com. Excuse me. Apologies. Just got done eating dinner. Some Chinese food. It was good. But we are here. You'll get also too with that link. You'll get 30% off first month moving forward. Join us. You'll get everything. But we do have a free section. But I would say join us with the subscription. But just a quick recap. What was it? Just a couple of things. Cash for baseball. My Hornets for the NBA. The Hornets team total, first quarter team total points, 29 points in the first quarter. Did cash. It was super. It seemed like it wasn't because they were sitting on 15 points with under 4 minutes left. And then they had 25 with like under a minute left, and I'm like, they're not getting the 29 points. And like I said, it was 55 seconds left in the first quarter, and then boom, by the end of the first quarter, they scored 5 more points. So that was the cash. I did have I didn't post it. I just because I forgot. I did have Tobias Harris for 12 points. I was thinking about taking him for 15. Mad I didn't take him. But he did finish with like 24 last night. I was going to go with Norman Powell for 19 points. He was questionable, so I was like, I don't even know if he's going to play, so I'm not even going to take him. He played, came off the bench and scored 25 plus points. So there's that. Now, I think most of the NBA games went over their totals. So missed opportunity on my end. That's my apologies. But it was the last day of the season, so really didn't know what was really going to happen. So what can you do? Really couldn't predict all the games going over. But it is the NBA, and hardly any defense is played most of the time anyway. But that's the NBA stuff. We're now focused on the MLB. Let's see what we can do today. See if we can find some picks. I already have 6 picks, technically 8. 9, should I say. I don't have them here. Well, actually, I do have them. Because that one slip that I sent in, I got Donovan for 3 HRRs, Acuna for 3 HRRs, and then Soderstrom for 3 HRRs. I parlayed them. So if you're going to tell that slip that I posted in the WAP in the Discord, single bet everything, single bet all 3, because they have potential to either get them or not get them, or you know what I mean, that parlay to cash, or definitely round robin it too, just in case it goes like 2 and 3, so that way you can still cash. But the new additions that I do like so far: Neto for HRR, Contreras for HRR, Gunnar for HRR. I'm considering bumping one or two of these up to 4. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So there's that. And like I said, they just got on my phone on Prop Finder on my phone that there were some updates per some lineups because games are getting ready to start soon. So I'm gonna try to rush through at least within the next hour, try to see if we can find some stuff because there are some pitcher weak spots official. I considered taking Naylor for 4 HRR. I'm mad that I did not do this, but at the same time, I was looking at this when I was at work, so I really didn't have time to really stop and really do anything because my gut was telling me to take him for 4, and I just was like too busy, like didn't have time to really stop because I was at work. Because I looked at it and I was like, oh, Josh is in the weak spot. Kind of got a feeling he'd get 4 per his data, and he hit a home run because he was in the weak spot. He hit a home run, so he finally got a home run off of Mike Burrows. I want to say his first at bat. I don't know if it updated yet. Nope, it hasn't. Usually Prop Finder will update their stuff, so they have not yet for him. But he did hit a home run. Let me go back to the game and see if he did anything else. The score is no longer 3-0, it's 6-2. Seattle is winning. Paredes for the Astros got 2 hits. Carrera got 1. Cam Smith, I considered looking his way, but I didn't. He has 2 HRR, a hit and a run. Trammell has a hit and a run. And then Yander Diaz has a hit and an RBI. Okay, Kyle Raleigh has 4 HRR. He has 2 hits, 2 runs. Julio Rodriguez has 2 hits and 2 runs. And Naylor went back-to-back home runs. So he literally is sitting on 7 HRR today. Missed opportunity. Actually, apologies, 9. I apologize. 9 HRR, 2 runs, 2 hits, 5 RBIs. That's why I said, like, when you're looking at data on Prop Finder, a lot of times, if you got a gut feeling about a player, you might as well just take them for, like, if you feel like they're going to go yard, take them for the yard. But if you feel like they're going to do the HRR stuff too, take them for the HRR. Because, again, Naylor has 9 HRR. So imagine you had the gut feeling he was going to get 5 and you took him for the straight bet. And you just plop, $20, $25 on this, you would have walked away with some funds in your pocket just from getting 5. Now, if you have Fanatics, they bump it up to, I think it's like 7. So that's definitely like plus 1,500 or something like that over there for him to get 6 or 7 HRR. So you just threw 10 or $20 on her, you would have walked away with hundreds of bucks in your pocket right there just from getting the 9 today alone. That's why I say, like, dog, like, keep doing HR, keep doing the home runs. Keep chasing those, keep winning on those. But I'm telling you, the HRRs will change your life, is what I'm really trying to say. Just being honest, in my opinion. They're my favorite prop to submit, especially the higher HRR. So Gunnar, really, really considering taking him for 4 today. His 4 is a plus 246. I think it was a little higher than this roughly about 30 minutes ago, so it definitely shifted down. Not that much, though. I think it was like 250-ish. But he's positive against Ryan. He struggles against left-handed batters. Gunnar bats well against righties. It's just his batting average is down. He's hitting the 4-seam, a little bit of the curveball, and the cutter. But Ryan isn't throwing the cutter that much. So you're really needing him to throw the 4-seam more than anything towards Gunnar's way. If he can do that and Gunnar reads it, and as you see here per the head-to-head, whenever he does get HRR, it's definitely 4 or higher. Technically, you got 3 here, but it's usually 4 or higher. So that's why I'm saying I kind of feel like he can get 4 today. And then down here per his metrics, he did have above 250 as far as the distance when he connected with a 4-seam and stuff like that. So kind of feel like he might potentially go yard today. Again, he is in the weak spot. That's why I'm saying I'm considering taking him for 4, but I still like him for just in general, just on the spot as 2. Pete could technically still do something today. He's the best positive batter against Ryan simply because he's faced him 11 times and hit him 5, and 4 of those hits were home runs. So the only thing is that with Pete, he's struggling currently. He hasn't hit a home run yet, right? Apologies, last 10. He did get one on March 31st, and that was his only one. per the season. He hasn't hit anything since. HRR wise, he's still struggling to find his groove with my Baltimore O's. So I'm hopeful that Pete will maybe potentially wake up. He did have 5 yesterday, though, so that was a missed opportunity on my end. So we'll see. D Macchio on YouTube says, you slept on Kyle's two total base. Sometimes it happens like that. And the other reason why I feel like Pete could potentially finally, again, have a potential back-to-back, like 3 or higher HRR, maybe potentially hit a home run, is because of the distance that he's been doing in the month. Look at the 3, all of them 4 seams, 340, 348, 359, 379. Yes, I'm rounding them up, but as you see here, he's been connecting a little bit more recently when it's pertaining to the 4 seams. It's just that they're not going out the park. So yeah, I kind of feel like he could potentially potentially hit another home run today, but we'll see. But out of everybody that I've looked as far as my O's are concerned, the only one that really looks good is Gunnar. When it's pertaining to the A's here, Carroll is technically in the spot. I believe he's the best batter against Dean Kramer here. He has a positive 3 hits out of 6 at bats, 1 2-bagger, 1 home run. He bats well against righties, but much better against lefties. Pitch mix, he's hitting the 4 seam and the cutter. I believe Dean is making his debut today for us, for my O's. So we really don't know if this is what we're going to get from Carroll today against Dean. We don't know what Dean's going to do. If he's going to come out here and strike cats out, if he's going to walk some cats, if he's going to walk half, strike out half, or muck it all up and get runners in the first couple of innings or few innings in on the mound. So Carroll has had back-to-back 5 HRR, 3 and 2 in the last 5, averaging almost 4 HRR. So you actually, I apologize, I was looking at it wrong. He's actually at 6 HRRs. So do you consider possibly potentially taking him because he loves hitting against my O's? Do you consider taking him? That's the question that you got to ask yourself. He specifically is green, especially on Mondays. He loves hitting on Mondays. He can hit righties. He does hit batting second, but that batting average is down. So do this every match what you will. He might potentially still produce today. He had 2 last game. Kind of feel like he can go back up and get 3 or higher. So we'll see what he does. Let's look at Cattell. He's 0-2 against Kramer from last year. He's struggling against righties. His only positive is the ISO. So that's good. That's the reason why, because it's whomever the righties that he faced within this spot here, he was able to do something, right? Produce something. So that's why the green is there. He's hitting, the only thing that he's hitting is the 4 seam. Well, he's hitting the sinker and the sweeper, but I got to see what Dean does in his first, I guess, 2 times up on the mound. Maybe he's throwing sinkers, because if he does, then, and he does it multiple times, and Cattell reads that, then he's good. It'll work out for him. But Cattell hits really great on the road. He does hit on Mondays. He still hits great versus righties, and he still hits great batting first. So you could potentially still take Cattell. He's actually 6-0 against them, getting 2 HR or higher. So this is a positive for you if you're looking towards something from the A's standpoint. So I would consider taking Cattell for 2 HRRs or higher, 2 total bases or higher potentially. Looks like his HRR is the best prop, depending though, because anytime he does get 2 total bases, it's 3 or higher. So you could potentially still get him for the 3. Maybe you do take him for 3. It's a plus 190 on DraftKings. But the HR is seemingly the best spot, because when he gets it, he's usually getting 3 or higher. It's a plus 129 for 3, plus 247 for 4. So do this information what you will. But again, this was last year's data. You know, this is his first matchup against us. Maybe he rolls that over into 2026. Let's see. I think I see anybody else. Perdomo, he's still struggling, right, to really find anything. He has a positive against Dean. He's just struggling currently. He's green. Like, you would think, like, oh, he should be able to get 2 HR, but that's not the case. He just hasn't been able to find his rhythm behind the plate. So that's pretty much everybody that I could find. Let me look at Beavers real quick, because Beavers can be sometimey. He's been more down than anything currently. And he only hits lefties. So anything? No, he had a single here on the third. He did hit a home run on the first, but that was it. That's all he produced, just in general. So he really hasn't done much. I don't know if you would take him today. You would consider looking his way for anything. I don't know. So we'll see. That's that game. My hometown team, Buccos, we're facing off against the Nationals. This is an interesting spot because Paul Skeens is pitching. He's facing off against a red-hot Washington Nationals squad here. They've pretty much been lighting it up. I want to say they're averaging 5+ runs a game currently on the year. But it's Paul Skeens. I mean, he started off real slow in his opener, but then he bounced back in the second start, I think. So I think this is like his third start in the year. Maybe his fourth. So maybe he does shut down Washington because they've been so red hot. Maybe. He currently on the season struggles against lefties, so this could potentially be a spot where Wood goes off again. He did have a home run yesterday, maybe potentially hits another one today. He had 4 HRR yesterday. He's 5-0 against us, so getting 2. He's averaging 4 HRR against us. Oh, I apologize, I'm looking at the wrong thing. He's 5-0 in the last 5 games, averaging 4 HRR. But against us, he's averaging 2. 2 of those games he had 2. 3 of those games he had 3 or higher. So maybe you potentially could take him. 6 straight HRR, averaging 4 in the last 10, 4 in the last 5. Let's see. He loves hitting on Mondays. Loves hitting on Mondays. That's the funny part. He went yard yesterday, had 4 HRR, and that's his worst day to hit. So now we're on the best day for him to hit. It makes me question if he's even going to do something today, because he actually produced yesterday. Maybe because again he's facing off against Paul Skeens, and he's 0-2 against him. He struck out once. Let me look at Abrams, because he's hitting righties very well. That's his best arm to face off against. He's hitting the 4-seam in the splitter, but Paul isn't throwing it that much, only 9% on the year. He has no data against, so this is first time facing off against Paul. This is supposed to be, this is his worst day batting, looks like. Who knows? Maybe CJ shows up and maybe CJ gets a home run, goes off. Maybe Wood doesn't. Maybe Lau is like, I think he's in the weak spot. No. What was I looking at for him? Oh, his OPS. He's the best hitter as far as the batting order. He bats really well in the 4th spot. Paul does shut down the 4th. Not much. Actually, this is like the second best. Looks like the second best spot for where he has a little bit of a struggle. But again, Lau's in a spot where he's comfortable. Does he, because he's struggling outside of his batting average, he's struggling just in general. So he's facing off against a right-handed pitcher. So Now, he did have 3 straight 330 or higher distances when it's pertaining to launching the ball out. Just couldn't. He only produced a double last night against Woodruff. Excuse me. So I'm kind of wondering if Lau could potentially still read Paul's four seam and still get a double or whatever. Because Mondays is his best day to bat. Because I'm kind of wondering, like, look at this. He bats well against righties. He bats great on Mondays, bats great versus righties, and bats great in the fourth spot. So I'm kind of wondering if he's going to produce even just 2 HRR alone today. So plus 120 just for him to get 2. That's the question is Paul going to shut down this Red Hot Washington squad? Brandon had 2 home runs. He was in the weak spot yesterday. He's not in the weak spot today. He hits righties, so could he potentially go back to back? At least just getting just a home run today. Look at that, 444. There goes that number. I see it every day. There it is. Let me see. He's batting well at night. He bats decent enough on a Monday versus righties and second. So maybe I just take him for the 2 HRR. He had 9 last night. I might bump him up to 3. O'Hearn did what? Just 2 HRR last night. He bats well against righties. He's green most of the pitch mix too. Ooh. Could he potentially get like 3 HRR today? It's plus 164, maybe 4, plus 336. Let me see, dog. And it's funny too, because Horitz is the best batter green, like he's like green all across the board with his numbers and stuff. Well, actually, now I'm looking at it, O'Hearn looks like the best batter, and then Horitz. So O'Hearn is green. He bats great in April. On the day, on Mondays, it's just his 4 spot. He's 50-50. So maybe I do potentially take him for 2 HRR. Let me look at Horitz, because he's not in the weak spot, because York is in the weak spot and Davis is in the weak spot. Because remember what I keep saying, once the pitcher gets down to the bottom of the order, that's when you'll see somebody like a Henry Davis go yard, or you know what I mean, Horitz and Magnum get on first and second, and then he cracks a double even in the first inning and brings in a couple of runs. So there's potential for even him to produce 3 HRR in the first inning or whatever, the first few innings. So that's why you always want to consider the bottom of the batting order pretty much almost all the time. You just got to kind of, use your gut as well. He did get a double on the 7th. He had a single on the 5th. One was a single, one was a 4 seam. So just consider. Let me look at Horitz here. Now he's 0-2 against him. He's struggling against left and righties just in general, but he is hitting the 4 seam and the knuckle curve. This is my first batter to see a batter actually producing against the knuckle curve. Like, everybody else has either not seen the pitch, or they are in the red. They just struggle. He's the first batter that I've seen on the season who is actually producing. So potential for him to at least get 2 HRR is good right now, just based off the fact that he can hit the knuckle curve. And this is on the year. This isn't from last year's stuff. So, and again, like I said, he's green too. So you may want to look his way. And he's batting great on Mondays. And he's batting great in the 6th spot. So let me queue him up. I'm probably going to take that as a straight bet. Let me do that now. I actually do like him for 2 HRR for a straight bet. I'm logging into DraftKings now. And again, he's not in the weak spot. So he, like I said, and let me back out. Let me see per the team picture, per the data for the team against. The only batter that has positive against Cade is O'Neal Cruz. And I think O'Neal went yard yesterday. He's not in the weak spot today. He is still green, like dark green here. Like, look, that's why I said O'Hearn is still potentially a spot to produce something. Like, I like O'Hearn. Technically, I like O'Hearn for 3 HRR today. More than just a 2. And then you still got Brandon Lowe, who's super green too. So if you, like I said, if you feel like Brandon, that's what I'm saying. If you feel like Brandon could go yard again, take him for the home run. It's plus literally almost 500, so he potentially could go yard today. The only thing is that usually batters, for the most part, don't go back to back after they've hit 2 the game before. So where's the game here? Okay. So hits. I said Horowitz, right? And that's the thing. He's red, but I just in general, I really do like his data. Just in general, the face value of what he's doing on the day against the arm and where he's batting at. And on top of that, he's, you know what I mean, he's producing against the four seam in the curve. I mean, in a knuckle curve, which he's throwing 40% and 30% of the time when he's on the mound. So it's no longer a plus 109. It's a plus 104. That's okay. It's still plus value. I'm just throwing 5 on it real quick. My last 5 on DraftKings. I'll probably put some more extra money on there. Anyway. But again, I still do like O'Hearn for 3 HR. I'm going to go on ahead and... You said look at House. Hold on, House. Who's House played for? Does he play for... I don't see House. I don't see House. Who's House? Who he play for? D Mackey said look at House and I can't find him. And like I said, I'm gonna log into FanDuel and I'm gonna take O'Hearn for 3 HRR on FanDuel. I feel like he can get 3. Or maybe I'll hold on. Let me see. That's the thing. I'm so used to clicking on NBA, but it's like I gotta wait. So batter HRR. Yeah, see O'Hearn for 2 HRR to minus 150. So the better value is for him to get 3 to plus 160 on FanDuel. So I got O'Hearn down. The only thing I think to do is parlay O'Hearn and Horwitz together. Again, you never know, because Nick is in the weak spot. He potentially still could get 2 or higher HRR today. Could potentially still go yard. You just never know, because you know, I mean, he bats really well against righties. He has 3 2-baggers, 3 doubles. He's hitting the four seam and the sinker. A few spots where he hit 200 distance. Okay. Said house is on. I don't. Where are you? So, I guess this is his first time batting. Where's he batting at? He's batting seventh. Hold on. Yeah, batting seventh. So I guess this is his first time batting seventh because it's not popping up. Okay, he bats better sixth. Second best eighth. So he has bat seven. It just wasn't showing up. But he struggles batting seven. But this was last year's data though. Again, maybe he does produce something. We'll see. I don't see House. Maybe he's just not playing today. I guess this is the actual lineup for the Nats. So it's either he is playing and he's maybe pinch hitting or something, but he's not showing up in the lineup. So kind of sucks. Really does kind of suck. Moving on to Philly. Marsh is in the weak spot, but I really don't like his. No. Trying to hurry up. With the slips, trying to hurry up. Put the picks in before the first few games start here. Brandon Marsh is in the weak spot. Really don't like his stuff. Let me relook at it. Now, Assad struggles against the fifth spot where Brandon is sitting. He's hitting righties. But my question is he going to fix this? Because he's 0-4 against Assad. He's not hitting well against the sinker or the changeup. He's only hitting the four seam and the curve. But he's not throwing the curve like hardly at all. So I kind of feel like he may not do anything today. He produced against Chicago last year in 5 straight games. He hits well enough at night. He hits really great on Mondays as far as his batting average is concerned. His slugging is great versus righties. And he bats really great in the fifth spot. But again, he's 0-4 against Assad. And he hasn't been hitting well. Because that's where just him getting just 2 HRR. So if you feel like he can at least get 2, take him for the 2. I just don't know if he's going to smack one out the park. You know, he might strike out. As you see here, he was striking out a lot in the month, multiple times. So if you feel like he'll strike out twice, take him for the 2 strikeouts. But last 5, he's like every other game getting 2. So he's in a spot to technically go under if you believe in the trend. Got it here, didn't get it, got it, didn't get it, got it. So he's in a spot where he potentially not get it because of the invisible trend. I call it an invisible trend. So do this information what you will. Now, Schwarber and Harper on the outside. Harper has a positive. He has no home runs against Assad, but he has a double against him. Walked 3 times, struck out once. So he technically has a single and a double because that's the other hit. Per his HRR, he might get 2. He's hitting the sinker, which Assad is 50-50 against, when he's throwing. But he is pitching the changeup well, but Schwarber is throwing the changeup well. So I would say maybe you take him for 2 HRR at minimum. Because he did have 5, then he had 3. So potential for him to go down, maybe just get 2 and that's it. Well, okay, you would have to parlay this to actually get something back. So let me look at Harper. Same thing positive. All 3 of his hits were singles. So maybe you take him for a single. It's plus 105 on BetMGM. He's not hitting the sinker well. He's not hitting the changeup well. So this could be a potential spot where the first 5 goes under, maybe, because his matchup against the top hitters are actually good. Let me look at Trey. He only has one hit. It was a home run last year. So he's hitting righties. He's hitting the sinker. Potential. It's a plus 153 for him to get 3. He is great at night on Mondays. Still hits righties, and he's batting great in the first spot. So Trey looks the best for Philly, is from my view. I mean, again, technically Brandon still could potentially do something. It's just, is he going to fix this? JT's in the weak spot, but he hasn't really produced anything. Head to head, he was doing great, so you could potentially use that as a stance. He's hitting the sinker, he's hitting the cutter well. Let me see. Mondays do not like him, and 8th do not like him. In the month, he only had one game where he went above 300 distance. That was on the 4th. Came close on the 6th. This is him versus righties. He did have a double. Talking about in the month, this month, a double and a single. That's all that he's produced. So he might do something. Might. And Ian Happ, once again, did not come through for anybody yesterday. I had him on the 11th. Didn't take him yesterday, so he didn't produce again. Could he produce today? He's not doing well against the sinker or the changeup or the slider, even though he's hitting lefties. .50-50 on Mondays, 50-50 versus lefties, but he bats great in the 4th spot. So maybe actually gets 2 HRRs, a plus 130 on BetMGM. Maybe you take the chance for him to get 2 total bases, plus 170. His best prop is him walking. 4 straight walks. It's a plus 163 from the walk today. That's the second best line out of everything that we've just looked at. So it's really up to you if you feel like, if Ian will walk, if he will get 2 total base. It's really up to you. PCA didn't do anything yesterday, right? No, he did not. So it's his 4th straight game where he didn't get any HRR. He is just not, like Chicago in general. The Cubs are not doing well. They started off red hot last April and kind of shifted down past the middle of the season. This year they're struggling uphill, and PCA is one of the reasons why. Same thing with Nico. Like Nico, he's getting HRR, but he isn't producing any home runs. He's getting singles. Yeah, this literally, guys, this might again, potential for this game to go under the 8.5. So we're looking at everything. So I just wanted to see, because I really haven't had the chance to look at the Cubs game at all. So I'm really not seeing too much. The only batters, or let me see, nothing from Chicago. So literally the only batter that I like was Treya. The only issue is they're giving him 3. That's the only thing I don't like about it. And it's only because when he does produce HR, he's getting 3 or higher. So, but I'll cue it up. New York's in a spot to potentially not produce today because they're facing off against a lefty, which is Kikuchi. But Kikuchi, the funny thing about Kikuchi, he struggles, right? But he produces against the Yankees. So this is like a 50-50 chance for either Kikuchi to shut the Yankees down again, like he did last year in like the 2 matches he faced off against them, or the Yankees produce against him because it's a new season. Will Warren has been like decent on the year, but Neto has been producing for his squad, HRR wise, and a little bit of home runs, total bases, singles. So he's been doing his job. He has a positive against one. So that's why I queued him up for 2 HRR. Chanel was, he wasn't in the weak spot yesterday, if I remember correctly. Or maybe he was. But I looked at him and I was like, yo, I feel like he can get 3 HRR higher. And I just didn't take him. And as you see, he had 6 yesterday. He just didn't. He just produced hits. So, missed opportunity. I don't think he'll do anything today. But we'll see. But I do like Zach at least. Let me look at Adele. Because Adele did what? He had 4 HR yesterday. Didn't the Angels have like, let me see. Let me look at this. Let me look at yesterday. Didn't the Angels produce? Yeah, they won 9-6 against Cincinnati. So Cincinnati produced later in the game. I remember because I was like, oh, it looks like Cincinnati's going to get blown out, blah blah blah. But they still allowed 9 runs in general. So maybe you take him for a single because he's producing singles plus 128. It's just that he's not facing off against the lefty. He struggles against righties. He's not doing anything as far as sinkers and four seams and stuff like that. But his distance, he's been connecting with the ball versus righties, which is still positive. He hits at night. He does love hitting on Mondays. And he's 50-50 in the 6th spot. So, again, he potentially could still produce something today or tonight. So this is really up to you if you want to take him. I was considering taking, and he's not up here. So it looks like he's not playing. It was, oh, well, here he is. I was considering taking Goldschmidt. One, he has a 2-bagger against Kikuchi. The only thing is he struggles against lefties. But he still hits the 4-seam. And he loves hitting in April. He loves hitting on Mondays. And he really loves hitting lefties. So it was just like, I was like, man, I really kind of feel like he may still produce something today, even if it's just 2 HRR, maybe 3. But this was like at like 5 in the morning when I looked at this earlier, before we got the weak spot information. So it's really up to y'all if you want to look at anybody on the Yankees, because they could potentially hit a lefty today. Left-handed pitcher, maybe. Potential. So do this information what you will. Let me see. Hey, I got Acuna to do, what was it, 3 HRR today, because he has a positive against the pitcher. He struggles against righties, but he at least been hitting some singles against righties. He did hit a home run, but that was last year, but still. He struggles against the pitch mix, but again, I just liked his Mondays and his righties and where he's batting at. So I just kind of feel like he'll produce 3 HRR, so we'll see. Remember, Edwards, he's still a batter that you could still potentially trust. It's just that he's been down 3 straight. He may go down again on a 4th straight because he doesn't produce against Grant. He does hit righties on the season. He's hitting the 4-seam and the slider. He's still been producing 200 distances or higher. And remember, his batting average is what's more positive than anything. So his batting average against righties is a 306. And he's more than likely leading off anyway, which is still a positive 266 when he's leading off, 281 when he's batting first. So you could potentially still get 2 HRR. Matt, he's been producing the last 5 with HRR. If you want to take him for a home run, it's a plus 400. Maybe he does go yard today. He can hit against righties. He's the only thing he's doing is hitting 4-seams, but he's been sort of kind of hitting close to 400 or higher more recently in the month. So you may want to take him. And he loves hitting on Mondays. So do this information what you will. I feel like I need to go because I'm really starting to not feel well. But this is what I have here. Like, I apologize. I have to end the stream early. I feel like I just don't feel well. I need to lay down. But this is what I have. Like I said, these 3 up top are my main 3 that I parlayed. Like I said, I like Neto, Contreras, Gunnar, Brandon, O'Hearn, Horwitz, and Turner. So any of these I'll probably parlay like 3 legs or something. And if you feel like you see anybody on here that can go yard, take them for a home run. So yeah, do this different much. I mean, if you feel like just take them for 2 HRR on everything and they go out there and do it, just parlay it on 1 slip. Or maybe take them for 1. Maybe you take them just for 1 HRR each and they all go out there and do it. Maybe I'll do something like that. I don't know. But yeah, look at it again. Screenshot or whatever. Do with this information what you will. But I do like these batters here for some HRR stuff. Maybe some hits and stuff. Maybe total bases. So, but I'm going to get out of here. Like I said, starting to not feel well. I need to go lay down. But maybe it's this heat too. That's probably, sometimes the heat be affecting me too. So, but I'm about to be out. Y'all stay safe, stay humble, take care of yourselves and family, friends, and loved ones, and let's hope for the best for tonight. And anything, if you're not on WAP and you're on YouTube, come join us per the link that I put in the comment section. But come join us over on WAP.com at Top Sports Debate, and tell our cappers, Bobby, Tony, our leader, Lando, and our newest capper, Q Keezy, the legend. Your boy's smacking over on tennis. Go follow him and all the homies, and then you'll see me as well with the live streams and stuff and whatever I post in my spots. But with that, I'm out. I'll holler at you later, guys. Peace.